Hey, want to be able to stream DS games but don't know which screen to prioritize? Well, this tutorial's for you. In this tutorial, I'll teach you how to set up your OBS so that you can stream your DS games in 3 different ways and be able to easily switch between scenes with shortcuts. This technique works for both capture cards and emulators. And so, the way this system works is I have 3 different scenes, all prioritizing different screen setups, and those 3 different scenes are nestled within a main scene. And by using shortcuts, I can go between the scenes. So I can do this, I can do that. So right now I'm using my number keypad in order to switch between the scenes. So the way you go about it is you're gonna create a new source, and I'm gonna be doing video capture device because I'm going to be recording from my Wii U. But if you're using an emulator, then you're gonna do game capture. But since I'm doing it from a Wii U, I'm doing a DS game that's on the Wii U, I'm gonna do video capture device. I'm just gonna call it DS capture. You can call it whatever you want, it doesn't really matter. And press OK. And here I have my recording of my Wii. Just make sure that when you're recording the game, that it records it with the screen set up this way. So if you're recording an emulator, it should look like this also. So you should have like the top screen above like here, and the bottom screen above here, and like the surroundings should be black. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna put this in a folder. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a group. I'm gonna call this top screen capture. I'm gonna put this under here. And I'm gonna duplicate it. So I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna paste and paste. So now you have 2. And I'm gonna rename this, and I'm gonna call this bottom. So we're gonna do the setup for this scene that has both screens. So I'm just gonna rename this scene yes, both. And then I'm just gonna add like an image as a background. So that we can use as reference. So I'm gonna just use this background I have that I use for my Spirit Track streams. And I'm gonna put it in the back. That's just gonna be used as a reference. Let's make sure it's not in the folder. It's in the folder. There you go. Get that out of the folder. Now that we have this setup where we have our 2 folders and we have the exact same capture underneath each folder, we are going to crop the images so we don't have like this black stuff and the other screen messing up. What we essentially want is we want to isolate each screen as its own thing. But we're going to be using folders to do this instead of directly affecting the capture itself, so that we only have to use one source for capturing, and this will like save on resources when we're streaming. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one of your folders. So I'm going to go with the top screen to capture. I'm going to right click, go filters, and we're going to add a filter, and we're going to add a crop pad filter. So I'm going to do OK. And you're going to try and adjust the settings and look up here so that it like isolates this top screen up here. I already wrote down what settings I use. They should probably work for you as well. So I'm going to do 640, 25, 640 again, and 580. And there you go. This top screen is now isolated and it's closed. Don't worry about the fact that the screen is in the corner here. We'll adjust that later. And then we're going to do the same thing for the bottom one, where we're going to right click, go filter. We're going to add a crop pad. Go okay. And then the settings for this one I have is also 640, 580, and then we could do 640 again, and we could do 20. So now we have our two screens, right? And then we can like adjust them however we want. Okay, so now that we have our two screens, which is very useful, we can now set them up to do the different layouts. So I'm going to do the two screen layout right now. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to move it up here. And I'm going to do transform, and I'm going to say center horizontally. And then I'm taking this one, bottom here, have it snap to the bottom here, and I'm going to go right click, transform, center horizontally as well. And there you go. That's our first setup with the two screens. You can like adjust the screen, like you maybe scale it a little bit like that and whatever you want. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate these scenes so that we can do the other setup. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to right click and I'm going to duplicate. And I'm going to call it DS top because we're going to be focusing on the top screen. So I'm going to take this, go to top, and then with the top one, I'm just going to take this screen, size it up, make it big like that. You can adjust it however you want. It's all up to you for later. Take the bottom one, and I can put the bottom one here and make it like tiny like this, right? And there you go. And now we could do the same thing with the main focus being the bottom one. So we go on our DS both. We would duplicate it. We call it bottom. Oops, that's not how you spell bottom. You do bottom, and you go okay. Now we have the bottom one, and for the bottom one, we're gonna take this screen. We're gonna size it up, make it huge. This is just a demonstration, so you don't have to. My scaling is not being precise. You're gonna adjust it for whatever your purposes are needed. I'm just showing you how to set things up as a baseline. And now this bottom screen is going to be the main focus. But the issue now is, what if I want to switch between them? Right now, I'm playing the intro to The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, and for the intro of Legend of Spirit Tracks, this two-screen setup works out pretty well. But if I don't know, like, go in and start my file, like this, right? This two-screen setup doesn't really work that well anymore, because I'm gonna be wanting to focus more on the bottom screen compared to the top screen. And so the way we're gonna set this up, so that you can easily switch between these three different screens, is we're going to create another scene and we're going to put these three scenes within that scene. So I'm going to create a new scene, and this is going to be the DS main scene. This is the one you're going to stream from. So this is our main DS scene. And in our main DS scene, we are going to add a scene here. So you can put scenes within a scene. And see, you just put add existing, so I'm going to put both. So that's going to be here. I'm going to add another scene, which is going to be bottom. We're going to add the bottom. And we're going to add another scene, and it's going to be the top. And so now all three scenes are here. But the only thing is, it's a little difficult to have to, like, go between them manually like this, because you have to turn off the visibility of some and turn on the visibility of others. It's not a good system. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using some shortcuts in order to switch between the different scenes. The way you set it up so that you can switch between scenes within your scene using hotkeys is you go to File and you go to Settings, or you can go to Settings down here. So you press Settings, you go to Hotkeys, and you're going to find your DS main, or whatever you called it. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up hotkeys. And the way we're going to do it is that we're going to set it up in that when we press a button, it's going to show one of the scenes, but it's going to hide the other two. Because you can set up keys to hide and to show sources in OBS. So I use the number pad. So for the show DS both, I'm going to press 1 on my number pad. And then I want it to hide for the other one. So I'm going to put number 1 and number 1 for the high DS bottom and high DS top. And if you see this warning sign, just ignore it. It's okay. Everything's fine. Okay, so for DS bottom, I'm gonna put 2. And I want it to hide for DS both. But if I put if I go here and hide DS top and I press 2, it's gonna switch it out. So what you do is you press on the little plus here, and then it adds another shortcut. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna do 2. And now for DS top, I'm gonna do that as number 3. And then I'm gonna add this so that this hides, so 3. And then I'm gonna do it so this hides 2, so 3. So just check. So okay, so when I press 1, it should reveal DS both, but it's gonna hide DS bottom and it's gonna hide DS top. If I press 2, it's gonna reveal DS bottom, but it's gonna hide DS both and DS top. And then number 3 should do that, and it should reveal DS top and hide DS both. And it should hide DS bottom. Okay, so we just go okay. That should apply. And now, if I do my keypads correctly, so that's revealing that, and then that, and then that. So as you can see, if I press 1, it shows both screens. If I press 2, it shows the bottom screen. And if I press 3, it reveals the top screen. And so that's how you do a setup where you can stream a DS game and you can switch out the screens. So for example, I'm playing, say for example, I'm playing here Spirit Tracks, right? I have Link walking around, right? And then I don't know, I want to go on my train. So let's talk to Zelda and go, hey, let's go on a train. Right? And then, I don't know, I want you guys to focus more on the train right now than I want you to focus on the map, so I'm gonna just change my screen, and now you're focusing more on the train than you are on the map. Or I could go back to showing the map. But yeah, this is a very useful setup because, for example, if I reset back to the menu, like I do this, and yes, you can. There were DS games that were launched for the Wii U. So for example, here I'm on the main menu. So you see I'm on the main menu, and this bottom focus screen setup does not really work for this, so I can press 1 and look at that. The cutscene looks fine now. And of course, you could just adjust the screens. If you want to adjust your screens, you're going to have to go back to the scenes here to adjust them. And essentially, that's how it works. Enjoy streaming your DS games. This works for Emulator too, by the way.